All right, go ahead. You got to try.
Do I really have to do this?
Of course, you got to do it, man.
Oh,
it's the show. You got to do it for the show. You know how to put it in?
No.
Hey, now, that's what she said. Can you do it? Go ahead.
I don't think my mouth is big enough.
Oh, it's big enough.
This is like...
I know it's big enough.
Okay.
You get it the right way?
Uh-huh.
No, I think it's the other way. Turn it the other way. Yeah,
Okay.
there you go.
Uh-huh.
That's it. No, put it in your lips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. Now put this. Now squeeze the other one in there.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Okay.
That's what? What? Pull your hair until it hurts. Is that it? Come over here. Saturn hurts.
I'll do another.
No?
Here,
Here, not there? Come on, you can do it. Don't drool. That's the key. Heel, not hiccup. No.
Feel the hiccup.
Feel the...
Feel the hiccup.
Feel the pickle. Feel the pickle.
Heel.
Peel the pickle. Peel the pickle. Peel the pickle? Nice. All right, give me one more.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
Really? I'm like drooling.
Wait, what was that? What was that last one?
Blueberry pickers prefer peaches. Why did I get all the P's? I was like,
I remember that. I was like, oh, okay, here we are. We're gonna go do this now.
Our first
was that our first foray into this? Look at you. You look good today.
It's Lookin, gotcha. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Brenda DeRuda. Brenda DeRuda. Was there a song about Brenda DeRuda?
What, a song?
Yeah, DeRuda.
I know there's a Brenda DeRoto-Ruder. I don't know DeRuda.
Brenda DeRuda and Anna Hoover must become friends.
Sue, just turn down your mic a hair.
A hair? Okay. Is this better? Is this better?
There you go.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't want to blow anybody out. Hey, Zoe.
You're over-modulating just a hair.
Hello, Jesse Flowers. Hello, Carrie Minyard. Zana.
All right.
Paula Giordana Borghese Basile. She is back. I love it. How are you? Listen, how was your day today?
Oh, Sook, my day sucked, but now it's so much better. For the next hour and change, we got such a show tonight.
No, I know.
We got a program tonight.
Listen, can I tell you something? Guess what I did today?
Go ahead.
So yesterday, my son started school. Today, I took my daughter to school.
Fun. Lots of fun.
You know what we did? We did it old school. We walked.
You walked to school?
Yeah, 25 minutes.
Nice.
I thought it was, I feel like I'm going to do that with her every morning. Why not?
You know,
right?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that does not happen. I've done that every year for the last 5 years of kindergarten.
Like you wanted to do it, and then you were like, you know what?
First day we walk it. Oh, it's beautiful out. Isn't this great? And then the next day, it's, you know what? Get in the car. I'm not walking.
Yeah. So anyway, Chris Jacobs is checking in right now, not the end of the show. Isn't that exciting? Chris Jacobs.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Early bird special gets the worm.
Anyway, so I took my daughter on a walk, and then they told us like all of the things that we need to know. Mm-hmm. Is your daughter in school full time now, or is she all virtual?
No, she's in there full time, 5 days.
5 days, Monday through Friday, not like 8 to 3, 8 to 2.
8 to 12:30, comes home, little lunch, and then an hour of little virtual learning.
Okay, that's kind of like what my kid is going to be doing too.
Yeah.
But my son is all virtual. He's like all virtual. He's in the kitchen yelling at me. I'm like, stop yelling at me. It's my kitchen. He's like, shh, be quiet. The teacher can hear you. The teacher says you're loud. I'm making chicken cutlets. I'm making lunch. Stop.
Shove them in the basement and get them a desk, for God's sakes.
I know. We order the computer and it's late, so I don't know what to say. I ordered a desk on Pottery Barn. Does anybody go to Pottery Barn? Did you see how expensive the desks are?
At Pottery Barn?
So expensive. I went to Target and I bought it for half the price.
Half the price. You walk around IKEA, you put it together yourself for $5.
That's what I'm doing. $5.
That's the way to go. One of those square Allen wrenches that you want.
Oh, those Allen wrenches. That was like my whole kitchen, my first kitchen. I put the whole thing together with the father of one of the guys I used to work with. His father was Greek, so we'd come home with like some Greek food. We'd like sit together late at night after CBS, and we'd be putting the thing together.
You know what I did today, Sook? I was so miserable.
What'd you do?
And I said, you know what? I have to accomplish something today.
You went for a run.
I have to accomplish something. No. So our ice machine in the freezer has been frozen over with a glacier of ice since March.
You haven't had ice? Wait,
I haven't had ice.
All summer you've been going to get sleeves of ice at the Acme and the shop stop?
It's like a giant frozen glacier in the ice machine all summer. So, we'd open it up. I'd say to my wife, how are we going to do? We can't shut the whole refrigerator down. Do we use the blow dryer? What do we do? Today, this putz, all of a sudden, I said, let me look on YouTube, see what they do.
What do they do?
Little screwdriver and hammer, chip away, little blow dryer action in the fridge.
You fixed the whole thing?
So gone. The whole thing is gone.
Can I tell you something? You can YouTube anything.
You can YouTube anything. There were 20,000 videos on how to get ice out of your freezer. And I couldn't believe it's been since March. By the way, let me ask you a question.
You're burying the lead. So we just kind of got through summer.
Yeah.
So what have you and your family been doing for ice cool drinks?
Well, I would get a bag of ice and dump it in so it comes out of the fridge or whatever.
Okay.
But I have to ask you a question. You know how back in March, I think I was at your house right before everything hit the fan. The whole kit and caboodle. And we were talking about all the food.
I made you a ham sandwich, didn't I?
You made me a sandwich. We were singing in your kitchen there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was lockdown galore. This is going to last for a few days. It's going to be great. We were talking about all the food you had in your fridge. And as time went by, we talked about me going to the supermarket, you going to everybody was stocking up. Okay, so everything's gone from the fridge and freezer now with all the, so everything's back to normal as far as I open up my freezer and there's one. I'm looking for. There's one lone box of Trader Joe's wonton soup. Okay, a frozen box of Trader Joe's wonton soup that's been there since March because we only went to Trader Joe's once, stocked up on all these boxes.
My son is ridiculous. Do you hear him banging on the door?
Yeah, tell him there's a show going on out here.
You're in. Go through the garage.
Hey, yo, Adrian. So anyway,
don't you miss my life?
Sook, what is the food that's been sitting in your freezer or refrigerator? Not the fridge because it wouldn't have been that long. What's been in your freezer since March? You guys never got to.
Okay, so my husband believes in like frozen vegetables, a lot of them. I'm a fresh vegetable person. And during COVID, I was cooking with a lot of frozen vegetables, but he went over the top. Frozen berries, frozen vegetables, frozen corn, things that I really don't cook with. I don't know what to do with corn. Like, I like fresh corn on the cob in the summertime. That's what we like to do, right? Can I ask you a question? Just riddle me this.
Yeah.
Don't you know I have a show to do?
Yeah. I never see this on TLC, Suki, when you're doing Fine Love Live. I never see this.
Goodbye.
I mean, I'm playing basketball. Like, I didn't know that you were like.
Okay, you know it every night now. Thank you.
I didn't know. You started yesterday.
All right. Goodbye.
Suki,
right.
we have.
So it's frozen broccoli. I bought tubs and tubs of ice cream because my kids were making sundaes, making milkshakes. We were making I would make cookies, and then we would make old school where you make the chocolate chip cookies and you put the vanilla ice cream. What is that called?
Chocolate. Oh, it's a chipwich.
Chipwich. We were doing chipwich.
I know it well.
But I'm kind of like one of those people that is so anal retentive that I actually rotate the food. Like I had to eat the meat. You know what I mean? Like I can't have like frozen meat. Oh my God.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. I mean, the folks from TLC would have thrown you out already by now.
He's back. People fucking where he was. He's back.
What's happening back there in that home?
I don't know because he's sweeping right now. What is the food that you think?
David Osmond's coming on. He's going to be appalled if he sees him.
He sees him like.
I mean, what's happening?
I don't know. He's still sweeping.
He's sweeping. He's wet Swiffering. Got no socks on. This is unbelievable.
Say hi to everybody. Look, Zoe Marie says he's back. Susan Smith says hello, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, is this supposed to be a professional operation going on here?
I'm at home. You're the only one that has like a solid place. If I could show you where I was shooting my show, like in a corner, and then I would yell at everybody.
Yeah, Suk, you need a brick wall like me.
I need a brick wall. But you know what? I think that's the one thing that I had, like a lot of I bought a lot of frozen meat. Like there was like, remember when all the factories were closing? Remember that? Like
everything was closing.
People were getting sick with COVID, and they were like, "You better buy the meat now because if you don't buy the meat now, then there won't be any meat in the summertime." All that stuff. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff. So I.
Everybody's like, we switched Phil's singing for Eric's cleaning. Is that what's happening here?
I'm sorry, guys. Phil's road tripping, so you got my crazy family to deal with now.
Oh man, that's funny.
Suki's man-made. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
Suk, we got David Osmond coming up in just a few minutes.
I know. I am so super excited. So your whole Wonderama connection, your connection to the Osmond family, this is like I could see you hanging out with your dad, watching Donnie and Marie.
Oh, yeah.
And like you probably had one for Marie, right?
Oh, you kidding me? I still do.
You know, even though that's his aunt, and I'm sure that's going to make him feel a bit uncomfortable.
Well, don't bring it up.
Every time I'm like, you know what? Scotty's going to try and get in with Marie. That's
we gotta get her on the show, Sue.
Yeah.
It all starts with getting her on the show. Also, we have a guy, Ted Alexandro is one of the funniest guys. He's got a special on YouTube right now, 1 hour. And I mean, his stuff is funny. I'll play a little clip before he comes on.
Okay.
And also, Laughter Saves Lives.
Oh, Butchie.
Butchie stooped in Johnny LaRocchia tonight.
Johnny!
They have another.
I want to know, like, what is the back and forth between you and Butchie? You're like, hello, this is guys. I want to tell everybody that's on Facebook right now. So Scotty calls you up and he'll be like, "What's up, Butchie Balls? How can I help you?" I mean, that's basically how he talks to Butchie. And so when I met Butchie in the city one time, I wanted to go, "What's up, Butchie Balls?"
Hey, Butchie boy. Johnny LaRocchia has got Laughter Saves Lives, and of course that raises money for first responders. 9/11 is coming up on Friday. So I believe
I believe 9/11 is coming up on Friday.
Coming up on Friday again. So they have a special, like a digital telethon with comedians and celebrities to raise money.
Amazing.
So I wanted to have Johnny on. He's going to come on later on for a few minutes to talk about it so we can get all our people. Maybe we'll simulcast it on our page. But yeah, so we got that coming on. And David Osmond texted me before. He says, "Dude, there was some storm." I think, he's, I guess, in like Utah, in that area.
Well, did you hear about all the wildfires that are out there?
Wildfires, there's storms. His service wasn't that great, but there's an office space 15 minutes away. He's got perfect service.
Oh my gosh, God bless him. He did all that for us?
I said, "Dude, you got 15 minutes. We'll wait for you."
Yeah, take your time. He goes like this. Butch Seltzer pronounce Alejandro, Scotty.
Well, not really. Not when it was. Not when they introduced him on stage. But I'll go Alejandro if he wants. That's fine.
Alejandro.
Everybody, they don't want us to talk. They just want some singing.
Alejandro.
Isn't that Abba?
Okay, so back to what you were thinking. Are you stocking up for the fall out of curiosity? Because everyone's kind of talking about this second wave, that this is going to hit. I mean, we're kind of doing well. We're in New York and New Jersey, so we're kind of pretty stable. We're under like the parameters right now.
Yeah, restaurants are opening up a little bit this weekend.
New York City schools back in business next the 21st of September.
Yeah, everything. You know what? It's here in our area. Everything seems to be back to normal, with the exception everybody's wearing masks. Not too many instances where there's a group of people together and there's no masks, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And
has your backyard gotten a lot of action this summer?
What's that?
Did your backyard get a lot of action this summer?
My bedroom got a lot of action this summer.
I'm glad.
Tell you, as I'm sure yours did as well, with your
new bed. You got a sleep by numbers bed.
You did? You got one of those numbers?
I was complaining because we had a bed since we were dating, right? So that was like, what, 13 years ago? 13 years ago. Anyway, it was 2. It was an old bed. Anyway, so I was telling him my back hurts. He bought a bed called the Avocado. Has anybody had an avocado?
Shaped like an avocado.
It was a wonderful bed. They actually did really well by us. It didn't work for my back anyway. But he got a sleep by numbers bed. And yesterday he's like sitting there like programming it. He's like, look at it. If you like it harder this way, you like it softer this way, you like it.
It's
kind of like a turn on. You like it harder. So anyway, I fell into a crevice because Eric likes it soft and he likes to be like, what did you say, honey? Like cuddled? Like, what is it called? Nestled?
It's cuddled like an avocado.
Like a nestled. Like he wants to fall in it, and then it just hugs him. Whereas I like it hard as a rock. Like I like it hard.
That's what I heard, Sue. All right, listen. Our main man, David Osmond's in the green room, and let me give everybody a little taste before we bring him in, Sue.
Let's bring him.
My name is David Osmond, and I am a music artist, a singer, songwriter, and producer. I've rehearsed 1,000 times. I played it all out in my mind. And now it's time to go, time to give the world the show that I've been dreaming all my life.
Music was my life as a kid. It's my lifeblood. It's in me.
I'm gonna give myself a chance. This time I'm getting off the fence. The wait is over, yeah, it's my life. This is my life. I can do this. Just stick around, you'll see. Going through this takes every part of me. Wanna feel it down inside, like a roller coaster ride. But it's true, yes, I can do this. So me and my 3 older brothers had a quartet when I was just 2 years old. I can do
I love it. He can do anything.
Hey,
David Osmond!
What's up, Dave?
How you doing?
Suk, let me just tell you something. David and I, our agents and our management teams have been going back and forth for a good month now. And finally, I got the call today. Dave's ready to come on, get some video ready, get some pictures ready.
Yeah, man.
Bam, here he is.
Listen,
you say I can do anything, Suki, but I can do anything except for be on time to the interview with Suki.
First of all, can we talk about all the there's major catastrophes happening all around you. So first of all, how is that whole situation? Because we see it, we're on the East Coast and we're kind of looking at it through just the video and the pictures that we see. But how are you, your family, everybody, etc.?
Thank you for asking. The world's on fire, it seems, doesn't it?
Yeah.
My wife, my kids, and I, we all disappeared for the Labor Day weekend. We took our camper trailer. We went up into the mountains. There was soccer tournaments outside of where we are. And we drive back, and the clouds and the smoke and the fires, it's just crazy. A lot of our friends have been evacuated from their homes. They're all safe. They're okay. But yeah, we're doing just fine. Thank you for asking.
I mean,
crazy
videos from satellite, from NASA, like you can see the fires burning. They're saying Washington State is completely devastated. Towns obliterated. We always think about the campfire. Was it campfire? What was it 2 years ago, Scotty? That was
that campfire.
In California, where the town was devastated. But now we're seeing videos in Washington where it's so massive. I just can't even wrap my head around it. And we're in a pandemic. It's crazy.
It's Murphy's Law. Is that my phone?
No, it's my husband. He just
Dave.
My family hasn't gotten the memo yet.
Someone's calling to tell you one more disaster that's happening. Hey, by the way, don't forget about this one. It's crazy. Our world is
things that are happening behind.
Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Don't worry about the erroneous things that happen behind Suki. There may be their pets, husbands, kids. Don't worry about it.
As soon as I entered the green room, I entered a conversation about bedroom talk, and I feel like I was interrupting you guys.
Oh my God.
Should I come back?
No, I was just really excited. He got me a new bed. I got to tell you, a new mattress.
That's awesome.
After 13 years, I felt like I deserved it. I don't want a diamond ring. I just wanted a new mattress.
Oh man, you do deserve it, absolutely. And I hope the lighting. Okay, I was telling Scott, apart from the fires, all the crazy, Murphy's Law would have it. We have the craziest windstorms the last 48 hours, knocked out power all over the place, which obviously it hasn't been great for the fires either. It's just augmented it. So I had to come over. I raced into my office space, and I hope it's okay. I hope you can hear me.
It's fine. I'm in my kitchen. Scotty's got a plastic wall behind him.
No, this is real brick. How dare
you? Wait a minute. Those Emmys were plastic?
No, these are.
Those are
real.
I was going to buy some online. Yeah, okay.
Hey, listen, I'll sell you mine.
That's great, man.
Listen, man, let's start here and go backwards, dude. You've been hosting Wonderama for a couple of years. The folks, I guess, outside of New York probably never heard of Wonderama, only because it was when we were growing up, it was a local New York kids show with Bob McAllister.
Yeah, man.
People too, Wakadoo, the whole deal. You guys brought it back. How's that been? It's you're working with kids, and it just seems like you are having the best time.
Dude, it's the greatest job on the planet. So I'm a singer, I'm a performer, of course, but I got the opportunity to come in at the very beginning stages of the resurgence of this new Wonderama. And again, like you just said, I never had heard of what the show was, but as soon as I did and went down that rabbit hole, my gosh, the mad respect for what the brand of Wonderama, what it is. Go up to any New Yorker and just say the name Wonderama.
Yeah.
And these grown men would just turn into like Jello. They're just like, oh yeah, that was my jam, dude. They're like, I learned to tie my shoes watching that show.
Yeah.
And I learned quickly the powerful brand that Wonderama was for so many kids back in the day. It ran for almost 30 years on television. You mentioned Bob McAllister, an amazing host, incredible guy. Sonny Fox was the host before.
Sonny, yeah.
And then Sandy Becker was going back even into the 50s. And so it has a great history right out of New York. So we filmed the show in New York, right in Manhattan. Try to stay true to all the stuff from the series of a lot of games. We make a big mess, pies in the face all the time.
Oh, it's perfect.
Talent, kids that would just blow your mind, the talent of singers and dancers and chefs from like Master Chef Junior. The champ will come on and share a little recipe. A science genius kid will come and blow something up for us. And it's all kids. It's all everybody under 18 and kids performing for kids. It's their show, and I get to be kind of the older brother.
Yeah.
Watching them just excel and do incredible things.
Yeah.
It's our 5th season.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I got nominated for one of those plastic Emmys back there.
Congratulations, Emmy nominated.
You didn't win it though. You didn't win.
Didn't win it. I got to go online and buy one, or I'll borrow yours.
Yeah, dude, we got a couple. You take one.
Scott said that to rub it in. I have a feeling. You didn't
What's
win.
that? That you didn't win? No, I was hoping you did, man.
No, thanks, man. But you know what they did? They asked me to come on and host the Daytime Emmys, the Creative Arts, last year. So I got to sing with Elmo and Sesame Street. And
God, how awesome was that?
it was awesome. So I'm very, very blessed. The problem is, Suki, is that because New York's all shut down,
I know.
we're not able to do our regular show right now. So we're trying to figure that out, find out how we can still keep the lights on and do a virtual version of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get some tips from you guys, how you've done it, right from your kitchen.
Well,
Yeah, it's kind of like we looked at each other, and Scotty was like, "Suki, we just need to do something. Let's just bang it out. Let's just you go to your house," and we just started trial by error. When did we start this? What, February, Scotty?
We started at the end of February, and I just looked today, Dave. We now have 90 hours of content.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
We've done 90 shows since then, and we were doing every night. We scaled it back to Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah,
and we've got 90 shows, man. And we've been bombarded with celebrities and entertainers all summer long. It's been great, man.
And you see everybody in their element, like in their pajamas.
And you know what the best part is? Like we know who Beverly Harrison is, and Irene Fitzhugh, and Donna Frusciante, and we've gotten to know so many of the people that private chat us all day long, and we've really kind of been a conduit where we all sit there and kvetch about what's happening in terms of how difficult it is to just completely shut down and the panic that was there.
Yeah.
To okay, let's start opening up the sales a little bit, but let's do it in a smart way. And we've kind of gone through all the hurdles together as friends, and that's what this community is. And Scotty and I were always like, well, everything is falling apart. Let's be an hour show where we just are having fun. Like we're laughing about the simplicities of our own life, the idiocies of things that happen, and let's make fun of it. I mean, what do they say? If you can't laugh, it's not, what is that old saying, Scotty?
If you can't laugh, you won't be laughing.
How about you might as well laugh about it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave, I have a question for you because I was digging deep into your sordid past. And normally I'd run the video, but every time I run somebody's video, they lock our show down for copyright purposes. So I grabbed this picture of you from American Idol.
Oh man. Oh, glorious.
You were on, what was it, like season 7? I think it was 8, season 8 of American 7 or 8, and I saw your.
Like by my hairdo, it looks like the lockdown had already happened. Hadn't had a trim in a while.
And you know what? You had the little hair right there.
Yeah, you had the little
hair. Side mullet going on. I don't know what was happening.
I saw your first audition when you walked into the room with Simon and everybody. Paula, I think, was in that one.
Yeah.
Paula Abdul, Simon Cowell, Randy Jackson. And it was the first year they had the 4th judge, which was Cara Digwell.
Yes, Cara. And Simon, he wasn't too blown away by you. He was a little bit of a nasty dude on that audition, and everybody was like, "All right, you know what?" And I thought I would have put you right through, but Simon, he had to play the bad guy routine. But you came out with the golden ticket, and your dad was insanely happy for you.
Yeah,
and
that was it was a fun moment. We were just married at the time, and it was exciting. I actually got 4 yeses from all the judges. That's the magic of television. You don't always see the behind the scenes, right? And they picked the special moments that Simon had, where he was very critical of certain things, completely out of context that wasn't even a part of that. So that's the interesting thing. But it makes a good television show.
Right.
And Simon, I'll tell you this: like I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it's the first time I was meeting him in person. And one of the first things he said to me as he asked, he goes, "So are you like, one of the Osmond?" And I just said, like, "I'm one of the million," or something like that. and I was waiting for like the razzing to start, the cheesy, the bubble gum, like, oh, here we go. And his first thing he says, "David, I got to tell you, this is before anything started." He goes, "Do you know what an amazing, incredible, phenomenal surname you have?" Wow, Simon? And he's like, yeah. I mean, from England, he understood the weight of the Osmond played. That going back in the day, the Osmond mania from the 70s, especially in England, it is unbelievable. for those that don't know, I mean, under 30, that don't know, go YouTube some Osmond stuff. It is crazy. It is a.
Hey, don't worry. None of our audience is under 30. Don't worry.
You know what we realized as we start talking and we have younger guests, that we are of the other generation.
Yeah. I did a quiz with Suki and this young lady last night.
Yeah.
She's got a podcast and she's a writer at Netflix, probably in her 30s, which I think you're in your 30s too, no?
I'm 57.
Right, okay.
Makes sense for an Osmond. Like you're 50, but you look like you're 20. It does. It
I'm doing quiz, from sitcoms and movies she never heard of, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But so listen, speaking of the Osmonds and have famous and the Donnie and Marie and the whole thing, those that's your aunt and uncle. But when you called me the other day, I didn't answer the phone. I didn't say hello, Suk. How did I answer the phone, Dave?
Well,
one bad apple don't know the whole bunch, girl. Oh, give it one more try.
Yeah, there you go.
That is really high.
And Scott, you got quite the singing voice, I must say.
Oh, Dave, no, come on, thanks.
It wasn't,
Keep it coming.
Let's hear a little rendition. I heard Suki's version.
Well, what was the song you made me sing when I was on Wonderama? How did I have to sing something, or we were dancing to the?
The theme song. I wrote a song for Wonderama. You're sitting around with nothing cool left to do. Oh, and looking for a show that's really all about you.
Oh, good.
There's a place you can go. It's a thing you could be. It's a world full of possibilities. Wonderama. It's here. It's new. It's all for you. Wonderama. And then this is what I had you sing. Wonder, 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 Wonderama.
Scotty, can you hit that note for me, please?
They're like, should we ask this guy to dance? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Wonder, 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 Wonderama.
I noticed as soon as I started singing, you both were kind of like Bob.
I
love it. I love it.
You know, here's the thing.
That way.
Theme shows nowadays, they don't exist, and like we love theme shows, songs, trivia.
They don't have theme songs.
Nothing has that anymore. So I love when there's words and it makes sense. You're like, oh yeah, I got that.
We need a little bit more Barry Manilow influence.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes. Right? Looks like we made it. Left each other all the way. Somebody just wrote, Dave, and I always forget. This is the other Osmond song that I know as a kid from Donnie. Yeah. And they called it Puppy Love.
Oh, dim the lights. You know what's so funny, dude? My whole life, I mean, I've grown up traveling, performing, singing in so many different capacities. And when I go through TSA, especially, it happens. I hand my Utah driver's license over, and I get that Simon Cowell. Like, so you one of the Osmonds? It's so fun, dude, because there he is. There's the man. There's that flavor saver that I. Yeah. Goodness sakes. No, but I play stupid a lot just to kind of see the reaction. What's going on? Oh, what do you mean? I'm like, like Donnie and Marie, right? Right. Who's that? And then I'm like, you don't know Donnie and Marie? Well, let me tell you about Donnie and Marie. And then I've heard the craziest things. And I promise, dude, I swear, I've had more than one time a TSA agent singing Puppy Love to me.
Oh,
in front of everybody. It's awesome. Awesome.
You know what I loved, like in the 80s, right? Donnie was making his resurgence, and then he did that song Thief in the Night. Like a thief in the night. Yeah. But you know what? Yeah. I'm willing to fight because I'm there you go. Anyway, I love the backstory that he felt that he carrying the weight of the name Donnie Osmond, that he was pigeonholed, that he had to kind of go incognito back in the day when radio was, and he had what is it that went all the way to the charts? Everybody knows that song. Yeah.
The label did a brilliant thing with Donnie because he did have that stigma of being cutesy, like teeny bopper, goody. It couldn't be taken serious as a legitimate artist. And he had this awesome. He was working with Peter Gabriel. That song he had, "Sacred Emotion" was the follow-up.
Emotion, that's a good one.
And they delivered this as kind of like a white label mystery artist over to the radio station. One of the top DJs. I cannot remember the name, but I think it was out of New York. I'll have to call Donnie and find out.
Elvis Duran?
I think it could have been. I think that's it. And they played it and they said, okay, everybody, guess. It's a mystery artist, new artist. Take your guess. Let us know who you think this is.
Wow, brilliant.
Across the board, no one would have guessed it was Donnie.
That's wild.
But it allowed him to be able to get a good listen without a bias.
I mean, who does? I mean,
I blew up from there. It was awesome.
Dave, can you get us Donnie and Marie to come on the show one of these days, bro?
Can you call them up first?
Let's see what we can do here.
Come on, text.
Stop it.
Yeah, great. Marie and I are texting memes like every single day, so I'll find a way to get Donnie and Marie on here.
Oh my God.
It's kind of a downtime for them right now. Well, they had their show in Vegas.
It's yeah.
For 11 and a half years at the Flamingo, and a phenomenal show, just amazing. They still got it. And now they finished their show last November. I mean, like almost perfect timing before Vegas shut down.
Incredible.
Marie went over to CBS, The Talk,
right?
Every day with the talk show. And Donnie's working on tons of new music, ready to go out on tour. And then, of course, everything just kind of collapsed.
Shut down, yeah.
Dave, you know what was
it's
amazing
devastating for entertainers right now, as you know.
What I didn't realize about you, I was looking through some stuff, and it's no secret because it was all, you're all over. I didn't know that you and your dad both have MS.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is unbelievable. I saw you sitting in a wheelchair on a stage. I'm like, wow, what happened to Dave? And I didn't even know that you wouldn't even know it, man.
It's crazy. Yeah, thank you. And what a miracle that I'm living, because I still have MS, multiple sclerosis. But as my dad says, it doesn't have me.
Yeah.
I stand on the shoulders of giants, and my dad is such an uber optimist, a powerhouse for good.
Mm-hmm.
And having a dad with the example that he has been for me, not just talking the talk, but truly walking it, of optimism and positivity. He's had MS now for 35 years or so.
That's amazing.
You were diagnosed early, right? You were diagnosed at 25?
I was 25, 26, right in that ballpark. Yeah. And quickly, in a matter of months, from my first symptoms, which were massive pain, but was massive pain in my body. I just went downhill, tripping and falling. Soon, from the chest down, believe it or not, I'm in a state of paralysis.
Wow.
I can't move. And I'm in a wheelchair for the better part of a year. I'm dating my wife during all this.
Wow.
I proposed to her from my wheelchair.
Oh.
And the crazy lady says yes, in sickness and health.
She did. She found me.
And I am living an absolute miracle. Just the fact my legs are moving again. I do a lot regimen stuff, natural supplementation, and diet, of course, changes. I'm on a disease-modifying therapy. I'm in the hospital every 4 weeks. I'm trying to be proactive to manage the disease. There's no guarantee, but I recognize I am truly blessed beyond measure. And that song you played, "I Can Do This," was a song I wrote about the perspective of living with multiple sclerosis. And it's a free song. You can go check it out. It's online. I Can Do This. And hopefully, we all have stuff, every one of us. We've all got stories, whether it's MS or cancer or diabetes, depression, financial issues. We're living life, and there are those fires everywhere. And I've learned that perspective is everything. I know what I can't do. I know those things, and it's hard to accept that sometimes. But I still know what I can do. So just those simple things, the mediocre things, driving a car, racing over to this office to come be on camera with you. I remember what it's like not to be able to even pick myself up and move across the room. So getting in a car is a huge blessing. That perspective is maybe why having MS is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. That sounds crazy.
Love it, man.
And it's so true what you said, that it really does put everything in perspective, and you kind of the what you've done to even lend your celebrity to spreading the news about MS and what you can do and what you can't do and how you can live with it. I remember back in the day, I covered this news story. Scotty, she was former Mickey Mouse star.
Annette Funicello.
Thank you.
Annette friends with my dad.
Yeah, when Annette Funicello publicly came out and said that she had MS, and it was just, it was one of these big stories. We all were covering it. We're all kind of digging into what MS is about, and I was always surprised at how early it could strike, and at any moment, the setbacks that can happen in your health. I was surprised at that there's no like real telltale signs. It could turn into
a trigger at any moment for anyone. An autoimmune disease of the central nervous system. If you think about this, MS, multiple sclerosis, it literally means many scars.
Wow.
So your immune system, which is your defense against bacteria and viruses and fungus and all that, it somehow gets triggered to attack yourself. And it attacks your brain and your spine, specifically the nerves or the myelin, which covers the nerves.
That's right.
And it basically, like, you know, the cable that's connected to my computer, this rubber coating over the wires, that's myelin, and the wires are your nerves. So if that gets damaged and scarred and destroyed, it's kind of like a short in the cord, and then it stops working. So your nerves all of a sudden just shut down. And when your brain says move your fingers, you can't move them. It's just a short. Or to see, or to breathe, or to think, you know, cognitive disorders. And mostly it stops people from moving. So MS, the scarring and the lesions can happen all over the brain and through the spine. Every person with it's like a fingerprint. It can be affected very differently, from extreme grave circumstances to, you know, maybe even just massive fatigue or minor cognitive or visual symptoms. But it affects millions of people. It's a big problem. We are, however, getting big answers. Not a cure yet, but there are like 22 disease-modifying therapies, they call them, to be able to manage the disease, which is amazing, because when my dad was diagnosed, there was zero.
There was nothing.
Wild. Dave, listen, before I let you go, I need to do two things. A, I want to hear that Wonderama tune again, because I love it. And before you sing it, where can people find? I know, because of everything that's going on, I know you guys were like on Fox for a little while.
Yep.
You were on the not the UPN, the WB stations, right? Yep. You were on Pix 11 in New York.
Yeah.
I think that's the last time we met you guys, right?
Yeah, we saw you. You were on our show.
In the studio. That's right.
Yeah.
And thank you for being such a supporters of Wonderama.
We grew up with it, David. We grew up with it. Nostalgia.
Oh, don't grow up.
With the great Chuck Armstrong.
That's right, man. You got it. So Wonderama is a syndicated show. We're on all across the country, 52 weeks a year, usually Saturdays and Sundays. Different channels for different markets. We're on My 9 in New York. We're on Fox 5 still on the weekends. Different times, but WondoramaTV.com is where you can check out all the listings. WondoramaTV.com, social media, and then also on Amazon Prime, you can stream it anytime. So
let me hear that theme song, man.
Yeah, man. You got the cool thing. I'll tell you before I sing this. Musically, what I'm working on, I'll have to come back and share this with you. It's my next phase of music. Is I have a big band. I don't know if you guys like the American Songbook, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, we love that. What? You kidding me, dude?
You're not old enough to know who those guys are, but it is totally how I cut my teeth musically. And I have a 16-piece big band, brand new album that's ready to drop. It's called the Osmond Chapman Orchestra.
Wow.
Chapman's the band leader. He's amazing. And then 16 incredible young musicians that are going to blow your mind. But it's all American Songbook. It's Frank Sinatra 2.0, and then original songs. It's so much fun. So I'll share that new album with you when I get a chance.
Please tell me you do. I've been a puppet, a
pirate, a puppet. You know your stuff.
Dude, you got to come on with the band. We'll set you up in the studio. You got it.
You got a deal. Absolutely. When we can gather and do our shows, our tours kind of got, by the wayside, got demolished. But we're gonna get back when things kind of settle down, and we'll bring the music to you.
And then you got to come back for Christmas songs too, because I love that every child needs a Christmas.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
But first things first, Wonderama is what you want. Check it out. You get the high note, okay? You're sitting around with nothing cool left to do. Oh, looking for a show that's really all about you and you. There's a place you can go, it's a thing you can be, it's a world full of possibilities, Wonderama. Hey, it's here, it's new, it's all for you, Wonderama. Nice. Wonderama.
Wonderama. I can't hit the high note without my what's people talking.
That's how the Osmonds get such big smiles. Just right there. You learned our secret.
No,
Dave, you're the best, buddy.
You are the best.
Now, listen, you got to come on with the band.
Okay, you got it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
16 windows on this thing. You'll have all of us.
Absolutely. I think we get about 10. You're going to have to leave 6 guys out.
All right.
You got to make a change, David. You got to
make the players out.
We love you, bud. Listen, stay in touch, and you're definitely coming back.
And a heartbeat. Thank you, Suki.
David, get home safely. We're all thinking about you guys out there and out west. And Safe.
We're gonna get back to New York very soon, and when we do, you got to come down to the studio.
Oh, you done it! I can do that. Wonderama. I can.
Yeah, there you go.
What? Dave, thank you, my man.
Have a great night. See you guys.
See you, bud. He's the best, right, Sue?
He's so. But can we talk about the Osmonds? Do they age? Is there is there something going on that I don't know what happened?
He said he's 57. Look how good he looks.
Nobody ages. I mean, like Donnie Osmond doesn't age.
No,
Marie sure hasn't.
No, they all look great. Good-looking family.
Good-looking family, dude.
Yeah.
Good-looking family. You just said it.
Yeah, absolutely. Suk, our next guest is a comedic genius, I have to say.
Genius.
Time Out New York says he is one of the funniest comics working today. Here he is.
But it is exciting. You know, it was welcome news for many reasons, mostly because we were trying and because I've been experiencing erectile issues. Not the good kind, if there is such a thing. Is there such a thing as good erectile issues? Like, Doc, you got to help me. It's just erect all the time. Getting to be an issue. No, mine were intermittent, which is not what you want, obviously, in your erections. You want them on demand, like your Wi-Fi, as many bars as possible. But alas, mine had become intermittent. So I've been taking Viagra, which helps with the situation, but it does take some of the spontaneity out of the amorous proceedings. It requires some planning. So I'll say, babe, I'm thinking of taking a Viagra. What does your next hour and a half look like? And does the thought of me with a medically induced erection factor into how you see that going? I'm going to need a hard yes or a semi-soft no. Sometimes even with the planning, it does not work out. One time I took a Viagra, about an hour went by, I said, babe, it's go time. She said, actually, I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood. Is it okay if we watch a movie instead? So then cut to me sitting on the couch with an erection watching Beauty and the Beast, singing Perhaps There's Something There That Wasn't There Before.
Ted, you know how many times I've sat on that couch with a semi-erection?
I tell you, man. Yeah. You know, I put it all out there. No secrets.
Alejandro, is it Alejandro, right?
No, it's actually Alexandro, but a lot of people assume that it's Latino.
You know what's funny, Ted? I said Alexandro at the beginning of the show. Somebody texted me, said it's Alejandro. I said, I don't think so.
Somebody misled you.
Yes, somebody misled me, Butchie boy.
Butchie, you were wrong.
I know that you guys come with love, so whatever you call me, I'm fine with it.
Ted, here's my question to you. When you take the Viagra, do you get all the side effects, like the sniffles, the runny nose, the coughing, the aches?
You see blue? Do you get that one? I see like things get like a bluish tint. You know, it's like the things that I'm willing to go through. It's, you know, it's like I'm making love to the Blue Man Group.
It's so funny. You know what's hysterical is like Scott talks to me about sometimes popping a little pill here and there. Scott, can we talk about this?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like, I asked him, like, you know, what does Lara say? Is she like ready to go? Like, is she like jump in bed? And she's like,
no, Suk. You know how many times because what happens, Ted, here's what happens with me. I try not to tell my wife that I've taken a pill. Yeah. So you have to, you got to feel out the situation.
Yes.
Right? Literally feel out the thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of eventual outcomes and a lot of strategizing that goes into it. Because there's times where I take that approach where I don't tell her, but then, you know, that can backfire too, because then like an hour later I'm cooking dinner with an erection because she's not, you know, so everything has to align. You know, there's a lot of guesswork involved, but, you know, it's worth it in the end.
Right. And that window of opportunity is very slim between fooling around and falling asleep.
Yes. All of that factors in. You know, it's like equations. There's math involved.
It's very different.
Obviously, I'm a woman. I understand there's a lot involved and it goes into it. Listen, let's talk about your stand-up. I mean, talk about, how vital it is in the social distancing era that we're in, that everybody really watch your YouTube special. I mean, bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Yeah, the timing worked out, you know, because people can just sit on their couch and watch it, erection or not. That's up to them. But yeah, you know, it really did work out well. And that was part of the way it came about. Was this was material that I was kind of intending to shoot for my 5th hour special. But when the pandemic hit, I wasn't able to, you know, obviously get into a theater and shoot it and all that. So what I did was I took footage that I had shot over this past year or so, and I had shot it at the Comedy Cellar in New York City, the Village Underground, Helium out in Portland, these great comedy venues. And I cut it together, you know, hence the name Cut Up. And it kind of became this different type of hour instead of like, you know, all in one place and like kind of all the bells and whistles. It was like a real comedy club experience. And I think it, you know, it really captured that.
I mean, it is incredible. I mean, it's hard for a comic to get all the critics to love you. And right now, Ted, it seems like a lot of people love you right now. I mean, they are just giving you the kudos that you justly deserve.
I appreciate that. You know, I don't know if it's because they don't have anywhere to go. They're kind of like
everyone's stuck at home, Ted. Everyone's stuck at home.
It's a hostage situation. Yeah.
Ted, the way I came across you is, you know, I follow back and forth a lot of the comedians on Twitter, and a lot of those guys were posting about your special, and I was like, oh, let me check this guy out. I just, you know, I saw the Viagra thing, and you're talking about being married and your wife. And I said, I gotta have this guy on. He's one of our people.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, luckily with stand-up, it's such a tight-knit community. I've been a comedian for like 27 years now, and we all know each other, you know, and there's different scenes, obviously. So I'm kind of part of the New York scene specifically, but even throughout the country.
You're regular at the Comedy Cellar, right?
Yeah. The Comedy Cellar is my home club. But, you know, over the years, you tour all over the country, all over the world. I toured with Jim Gaffigan for the last 6 years. Wow. I've been opening for Jim. So, you know, you form these friendships. So like you said, Scott, a lot of fellow comedians were kind enough to kind of help boost the signal and get the word out, because this was all kind of self-produced. So that obviously helps. And I mean, obviously it works, too, because that's how you found it.
And you know what, Ted, like, it feels like all of us kind of need to laugh a little bit, and you kind of mine beautifully, like, everything that's happened during this crisis, our obsessive compulsiveness when it comes to, like, hand washing. How, like, honestly, like, I feel like I'm the only person, and you hit it right on the head. Like, I still say hello to people, like, even though I have a mask on, I'm like, hi, how you doing? Are you doing okay? And it's like, people are like, stay away from me, lady!
Yes.
Stay away from me! And it's like all of these crazy things that used to be just so normal. I mean, for New Yorkers, we never really like to talk to anybody, but for the rest of us, I mean, that, you know, want to talk, it was okay, but now it's like an act of terror. It's like, ah!
Yes. Yeah, you have your hands raised. You're like, what do you want from me? Everyone's a suspect, you know? Yeah, it's true. I mean, and what's fascinating for me is, like, during a pandemic now, I put out 2 comedy specials. The first was a few months ago, and that one kind of happened by accident. The one that you showed there is called Cut Up, and that one I just put out, and that was the one that I was planning to put out. But at the start of the pandemic, I was doing these Instagram lives every night where I was just
like a stay-at-home comic. That's what they were, you know. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it's called Stay-at-Home Comedian, and I kind of put together like the best moments of all my Instagram lives, because I realized, you know, this is such a specific moment in time and so weird, like you said, you know, so that maybe this could kind of be a little bit of a time capsule. So I turned that into a special, and the next thing I knew, the New York Times was writing about it. I guess because nothing else was going on, but it was like, you know, like I said, I've been a comedian for 27 years, and it took me doing a special in my living room for them to write about it.
And listen, man, you've been on Letterman, right? Conan, Jimmy Kimmel. You know, when you're sitting there in that green room and you're like, man, this is the pinnacle of my career, right? This is stuff you lay in bed and you dream about. How nerve-wracking is it to be in that green room on especially a Letterman, right? The guy's a legend, and you're waiting to go out. How hard is that heart pumping? And you're trying to remember your 5 minutes or whatever time they give you, right? Yeah. You're like, holy cow, this is it, man. Everything I've done comes to this moment. How nerve-wracking is that?
I mean, you're 100% right, because it is a culmination of years of doing those 5 minutes. So in a certain sense, it's so ingrained and so second nature. But, you know, you're used to doing it in a comedy club in front of 100 people, 50 people, you know, whatever it winds up being. But for that, everything is so heightened. And I remember, you know, the Ed Sullivan building is like 5 floors, I think. Yeah. So my green room, the very first time, the green room was on the 5th floor. So they send a production assistant up to get you. So they come and get you. They knock on the door. Then you ride the elevator down. You know, it's like the longest ride, just you and the PA. And then the elevator doors open and you're on the floor of the stage. So all of a sudden you're hit in the face with, like, the band is playing. They're about to come back from commercial. You're standing in the wings and Letterman's like 100 feet away. You see him, you know, sitting there at his desk. And they say, they put the hand on the shoulder. They're like, okay, 30 seconds. Music's playing. You know, 10 seconds. You're like, can I just get the hell out of here? You know,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So that was like, I remember each moment of that so vividly. But then once, you know, Letterman, you know, it's very bizarre and surreal in a sense, because you're watching him and he introduces you and says your name, and then you go out. But once you're out there and you hit the mark, then it's like I said, it's what we've done 1,000 times before, and you try to enjoy it, and I did, fortunately.
For you, Ted, like, who is your like you ask comics, like, who are the comics that inspired them? For you, who would be in the pantheon if you would have to pick?
I mean, there's so many. Luckily for me, my parents had good comedy taste and a lot of good albums in the house. So growing up, I remember listening to everything from George Carlin to Bob Newhart. I mean, obviously Bill Cosby at the time. All these great kind of legendary comedic albums, Steve Martin. So those were the ones that kind of made an indelible impression. I didn't know I would go into it at a young age, but I just knew that I loved, especially back in that time with albums, you know, you put the needle on the record. And as a kid, you're in like an adult space, you know, you're where you're not allowed to be. So all of that I found very kind of entrancing.
It's so interesting that you say that, because kids come in and out of your space now like it's their space. Like, hey, Mom, can I, you know, and it's like there's no, yesterday I flipped a gasket. I was like, what am I doing wrong? My father would give me a death stare. I would stop dead in my tracks. My mother would shoot me a look, and my mom calls me every morning to yell at me. Every morning still. She calls me at 7:30 to yell at me. And
it's good for the soul, right?
It's good for the soul. But what I'm saying is that my children, they look at it. My son just looks at me and just goes, I don't even understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I think that just, we were the last generation to get that, I think. Now that's over, you know, there's no fear.
There is no fear.
You know how many times I've said, if I would have done that to my father, he would have beat the shit out of me.
But you know what? You can't do that. You can't do that.
Right.
Listen, Ted, you know what else I loved? I read you are the co-founder of a comedians coalition, where it was almost like unionize the comedians.
Yeah, that happened on 2 separate occasions. First, like around 2000. I wrote up a petition because there had been a lot of discussions amongst comedians how there was dissatisfaction with the pay because the pay had really been the same since the mid 80s, and there hadn't been a raise in the comedy clubs for 15 years or so. So I wrote up this petition, and I got about 125 New York comedians to sign it, and the pay was raised on that occasion. And then a second time, what you're alluding to, this was maybe 2007, we formed what was called the New York Comedians Coalition, and that was about 300 comedians, and that was an even bigger push, and we got a second raise. So yeah, it was, you know, I'm as proud of that as I am of any of my my specials, because it was such a collaborative endeavor, you know, and comedians are so like, you know, they're kind of independent contractors and freelancers. Yeah. So to bring everybody together was a great thing, and we got the pay raise. So that was amazing. Yeah, I was proud of that.
Ted, you're a funny guy, man. I appreciate you coming on. Continued success. I want everybody to go watch Ted's special on YouTube. It's called Cut Up, right? With a full hour.
That's right.
And it's just, you know, it's like Netflix, YouTube. I mean, everybody's doing the specials now, man. Congratulations. And you got some good stuff, man. Continued success for you.
I appreciate it. And you know, coming off of David Osmond, I don't sing as well as him, but I do sing a little bit in the special. You know, what are you singing? Joke that you showed, I sing the Beauty and the Beast theme. So, you know, I mean,
you got to do it, man. You got to do it. Go ahead. You got to give it to us.
There's something sweet and almost kind. That's all I got for you.
That's it?
That's a taste, man. You got to watch the special. It's on YouTube.
Beauty and the Beast.
There we go. There we go.
Guys, forever in the Catskills. You got to understand.
Always.
You know.
Always.
We're always in the
Ted, thank you, my man.
Love it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You're awesome. Thank you, sir.
Continued success, bud.
Same to you. Thank you, guys.
All right, pal. How funny is Ted?
I loved it.
Special, amazing.
And you were right. It's Ted Alexandro. It's called Cut Up. There's a full comedy special on YouTube. Guys, support it. It's hysterical. Also, some of his COVID stand-up is hysterical.
Yeah, really good.
Some of it.
Really good. And listen, it's free. So you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Free of charge.
You know what they say, if it's free, it's for you and me.
Free, it's for you. All right. You ready for our next guest, Soup, before we wrap up tonight? We always save the best for last. And I could yell at Butchie through Johnny Boy. So let's bring him in. What's up, Johnny?
Hey!
Guess who's my favorite comic?
Teddy Alejandro or Alexandro?
Did I spell it wrong? Oh.
No, you spelt it right. And I introduced, and earlier on the show, I said, Souk, we have Ted Alexandro coming on the show.
Right.
And some guy named Butch puts up on the screen that it's Ted Alejandro.
He's an idiot. That's why.
The guy's an idiot. Can you imagine this?
Let me tell you something. First of all, you know, I'm usually sleeping at this time if I'm not doing stand-up or teaching or whatever. But, Suki, we have something in common.
I know.
You know how you said your mother still yells at you?
Yes, my mother still yells at me.
Your mother called me the other day and yelled at me. I don't even know the woman. I don't know how she got my phone number. What's up with that? I will one day. I will probably miss. I just enjoy all of it. You know, I just enjoy all of it. Yeah, you know what? I lost my mom 5 years ago, so and she never yelled at me anyway. My mom, she was so quiet. Because she loved you, the apple of Johnny. You were like the apple of her eye. I mean, just say it. Just say it. I was a good boy, Suki. A good boy. Right, Scott? He's a good boy.
Johnny LaRocche. Johnny, listen, you know, normally we're talking about, and I misspoke earlier because Laughter Saves Lives is such a huge organization.
Huge.
Raising money for first responders of 9/11, any first responders really, yes, but mainly 9/11. And this Friday, of course, 2 more days is the anniversary again of 9/11.
Yes, it is.
At 19 years.
Oh my God, can't believe it.
And you guys, I said you were doing a comedy special, but it's not. You're doing a reading of the names, right?
Well, we did a little comedy show in the studio a few weeks ago to raise a little money to support this event. It was our first live comedy show in a studio, not at home. I wanted it to look a little more professional. And basically, it's like a firehouse police station. Not only do we do stand-up, but in between sets, we stay on the stage and break each other's balls, just like in a firehouse. Am I allowed to say break each other's balls?
Yeah.
You can
break each other's testicles. What can I say? I don't know. So it was fun. We're going to be doing that. It's going to be a heroes tour, cops, firemen, military comics, raising money for different charities. But yes, this is the 4th year I'm involved. It's called The Calling of the Names. It's done at Trinity Church at 2:00 usually on 9/11.
But
and it's run by a wonderful woman called named Barbara Horn out of Long Beach. And she came up with this idea about 5 years ago. We read the names of anybody that assisted us in New York here on 9/11 or after 9/11, came into the town, came in from wherever to do whatever, to help out in some way. And I was thinking about it today. We weren't down for the count. New York is never down for the count. But we were on our knees after 9/11. And people came from around the country to help. So what we're doing is we're reading the names of people that have passed away from any reason. Not doesn't have to be 9/11 related cancer or anything like that, who passed away, who helped out or assisted on that day or the days that followed. It's called the Calling of the Names. And it's we're doing it now out of the studio where I do my show because we can't do it at Trinity Church this year. So it should be interesting. I'll be reading 20 names. I got to read Police Officer Stephen McDonald 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, which was an honor and a pleasure. So yes, we're excited about being involved. We're honored to be involved with this. This is really important to me.
Where can people watch that?
Yeah,
people will be able to watch it on Strong Island Television, YouTube, Facebook. If you guys get a chance, I know you're so busy. I know you're so busy. Suki, congratulations with the show on TLC, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Butch wrote down right here, look, please say it or I'll break your legs. So we're really excited to do it. But my daughter she closed my show last night, but it's going to be part of the event. She sings a song. And she sang last year and I think the year before. My daughter was very involved. She was 10 years old on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
It really affected her to this day. My daughter, 3 years ago, attempted to commit suicide.
Oh.
She is a psychiatric nurse now taking care of patients who she can relate to. And if you watch her sing this song, you'll feel where it's coming from.
Right.
Because she knew a lot of the families. She had a lot of the friends. She had that guilt. My dad lived. Your dad didn't. How do I deal with that? And when you watch her sing this song, I guarantee you it'll move you. Oh. And I'm so happy to have her involved with it.
That's beautiful. And I'm glad that she's doing well. That's the most important thing, too.
She's doing so well that she's still living with me and breaking my balls and screaming at me and yelling at me. I don't have my mother. I have 3 women I'm living with now. I don't have it. That's why I'm down in the basement. Butch said, you want to do a show from the basement? I go down here all the time. I'll do something in Scott show because I'm not allowed to go upstairs.
Can I tell you something? What is the city doing? Because initially they were saying reports that they weren't reading names, that you couldn't go down.
Yeah, I think the Tunnel to Towers stepped up as they always do, and they're running the ceremony.
Yeah. They're running the whole thing.
Yeah, they're doing the ceremony in some way. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes, it is. It is.
Johnny, you're the man, my friend. Listen, next time you have the comedy show, I want back in. I got new material.
Yes, we need you back in. Let me just mention one other event. October 4th, we're doing a small live comedy show, but it's being recorded. Over the next week, we will be editing it a little bit and making it available online for $31. Wow. People will go on the site, Helping Through Yuma, which will be linked to my site, and they will pick a national military, veterans, or first responder charity that we have listed. That charity will get about $25 out of that $31. It's going to be a great event. Joe Starr, Christopher Roach, me, and JJ Boyd.
Beautiful.
When is that? What date?
The show is being recorded October 4th. The live show is the 4th. It will be available on my website about a week afterwards.
You got it, my friend.
We're really excited about that event.
Good.
Yeah.
Johnny, we love you, pal. Johnny Ted Alexandro LaROCCHIA.
Is that it? I'm done?
That's it. Well, show's over.
Yeah.
All right. And Suki, call your mother tomorrow and tell her I got 3 women I'm living with. They're yelling at me all the time. I
really don't think that boys deal with that kind of stuff ever.
Yeah, we
do.
Yeah, your mother calls you and yells at you, Scotty?
Oh, my mother's yelling at me all the time.
Scott, how many women do you live with?
I live with 3, my friend.
Oh, me too. My son got married. I said, what are you doing? You're not allowed to leave. you going? I was holding onto his ankles going down the altar. You can't leave this house.
That's why I made myself a brick wall so I could spend more time down here.
There you go. Well, we'd love to have you for the next show. And Suki, I always love seeing you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not funny like that. I'm not funny like Scotty. Like I don't got that. You know,
who's funny like Scott? There's not many people funny like Scott.
Funny, Scotty can. You know, I was so impressed that one time that we had to MC. He started doing like a 5-minute thing. I'm like, I have to leave right now. I'm getting off the stage.
Do I have time to tell you a quick story or not?
Go ahead, do it.
All right. Did you guys see the roof rescue that was made in Manhattan the other day?
No.
By the firefighters. All right. Very quickly, we're trained to carry this big bag. High-rise building, 13th floor, 25th floor. A ladder can't reach there. So a fireman's trained to slide down out of a higher window of the roof, grab the person out of the window, and they break a window 2 floors below, and they pull him in. And there was one of these rescues made the other day. Very rare, very exciting rescue on the streets of Manhattan. And I was asked the other day by my wife if I could have made that rescue. Now, I'm very proud to be a retired FDNY. I worked with heroes, and we had great training. I said, honey, yes, I could have made that rescue because of my training, but it would have been a little different than when that guy did it. They would have said, oh, my God, there's a fireman coming off the roof to save this man. Oh, my God, he's crying like a baby. The fireman is crying, actually. Then I would save them when they said, oh, my God, he's screaming like a little girl, but he did it. And during the interview, they would have said, Fireman LaROCCHIA, that was an amazing rescue. Amazing rescue. What did you think about that? And I would have said, it was the scariest thing he did. I'm never doing that again. So, but kudos to the brothers the other day for making that rescue.
That's amazing.
What was it? Was a roof rescue in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan?
Look it up, roof rescue FDNY Manhattan. You Google it, it'll come up, I'm sure. There was a famous one back in the day where it was lunch hour on 23rd Street, I think, in like 5th, right in the middle of everything, and they're making this rescue, and the street was thousands of people watching it.
Wow.
It was like a show, like, he got a round of applause, and it was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it was on Lenox Avenue in West 135th Street, around 1:30. They found people panicking, Lenox Hill apartment. Yeah. Wow.
Take a look at that later. It's amazing. Oh,
Johnny Babe, one more time. It's Friday, 2:00.
Friday, 2:00, the calling of the names. You can see it on my Facebook page, Strong Island Television.
Strong Island Television.
We will be calling the names of people that assisted New Yorkers after 9/11 who were lost since then.
You got it, my friend. Johnny, we love you, pal.
Love you guys. You're the best.
Love the FDNY always. All first responders, all men and women that serve this country too, you know? It's all about it.
Thank you, guys.
Take care. 7:30 to yell at you, all right?
Yeah, John, tell Butch I said thanks for the wrong pronunciation of our previous guest name.
I can't believe it. Ted was one of my favorite comics. I worked with Ted.
He's funny. He's a funny
years ago. And there's very few comics when you're working with them 3 shows on a weekend that you will stay and watch their whole set.
Yeah, he's great. Really
he doesn't remember me. He'll go, who? LaROCCHIA? But I remember him.
Unreal. Johnny, thanks, pal.
All right, guys.
We love you, bud.
I'm going to bed.
Me too.
All right.
See you later, handsome.
Sook?
That does it.
Looks like we made it. Left each other on to another love.
Hey, did you hear the Kardashians are not coming back?
Yeah, we spoke about that last night. Were you on the show last night?
I feel like 2020 just is like. Anyway,
I got some funny stuff to show you, but we'll do it tomorrow because we ran. Dave Osmond showed up a little late.
Everybody, Brenda Woodruff, Cherry Hetrick, Donna Fraschetto, Dina Gonzalez, Andujar, Donna Fraschetto, all of you. We love you. You know we do.
Talk about the reading of names, boy. Those names are up there.
Lynn Bryan, Novik. Bye. Jane Hicks, thank you so much. Great night, great show as always. We appreciate it.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go.
Tom Crusoe said, "Don't let the door hit them in the butt."
Good night, sweetheart.
Night, Judy Parsons. Night, night.
Leave you. We really
Must
must
stay.
say
Good night, sweetheart. Good